Morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our February the 21st, just for today, in a meditation. Hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. The meditation for today is self-pity or recovery. It's our choice. Self-pity or recovery. It's our choice. Self-pity is one of the most destructive of defects. It will drain us of all positive energy. That comes from the basic text, page 80. In active addiction, many of us use self-pity as a survival mechanism. We didn't believe there was an alternative to living in our disease, or perhaps we didn't want to believe. As long as we could feel sorry for ourselves and blame someone else for our troubles, we didn't have to accept the consequences of our actions. Believing ourselves powerless to change, we didn't have to accept the need for change. Using this survival mechanism kept us from entering recovery and led us closer day by day to self-destruction. Self-pity is a tool of our disease. We need to stop using it and learn instead to use the new tools we find in the NA program. We have come to believe that effective help is available for us. When we seek that help, finding it in the NA program, self-pity is displaced by gratitude. Many tools are at our disposal: the 12 steps, the support of our sponsor, the fellowship of other recovering addicts, and the care of our higher power. The availability for all these tools is more than enough reason to be grateful. We no longer live in isolation, without hope. We have certain help at hand for anything we may face. The surest way to become grateful is to take advantage of the help available to us in the NA program and to experience the improvement the program will bring in our lives. Just for today, I will be grateful for the hope NA has given me. I will cultivate my recovery and stop cultivating self-pity. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a wonderful meditation talking about self-pity or recovery. It's our choice. And I do believe that I can relate to this. I believe that I use this concept of powerlessness as a survival mechanism. I leaned into it more than I should have. I leaned into it because now it gives me an opportunity to continue to have the same behavior. In many instances, for some people to continue to use or relapse, right? Repeatedly, because I'm powerless over my disease of addiction. I'm powerless. What a concept that anyone would use that as a mechanism to be used as a tool to continue in poor behavior, poor living, poor decision-making, using drugs when we want to. Well, of course, I'm powerless. I mean, it's easy. Now that you've told me what I am, it's easy to lean into that as an excuse. But it was never meant to be that way, right? We were never meant to abuse that term or self-pity, right? As a way to say that I can't change it. I can't change it. I mean, absolutely, you told me I'm powerless, right? No, 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 no. Hold up a second. That is not what that was meant to do. That was meant to help us realize the futility in the disease of addiction. And you don't win in that fight. Jails, institutions, and death, and sometimes not in that order, are the end of the disease of addiction, continually using. Yeah, it was meant to open our eyes, to encourage us to surrender to win, not use it as some excuse, of why we continue to do the things that we do. And for many of us, we put the drugs down a long time ago. It's the behavior. We continue to day by day live in ill behavior, ill ways of behaving. No one can tell us anything. We know everything. We cannot enter into a working relationship, healthy relationship with anyone because we always have the final say. Relationships run through our hands, our fingers, like running water. No stability because the behaviors have not changed. And oftentimes we catch ourselves saying, my disease, that's my disease. My disease is running riot. No, you are running riot, right? You're allowing these character defects to overtake you. You're doing that. And when you get tired, sick and tired of it, you'll change. They always tell me when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, you will change, Mighty Stream. And eventually I got so fed up with the lying, the manipulating, the micromanaging every single detail, every single part. I made myself sick. I got so tired of it. And I became entirely ready to have it removed from me, right? Self-pity or recovery. I chose recovery. Self-pity got me absolutely nowhere. Matter of fact, if I'm being 100% truthful, this self-pity stayed with me for a while after getting clean. And I had some wonderful opportunities to have friendships and relationships with people, relationships in the sense of, intimate type relationships. I had plenty of opportunity to allow people to get to know me and vice versa. But my self-pity was just so intense that they could not stay in my company for very long. I was like, man, every time you open your mouth, it's always something negative. Like, there's nothing beautiful in your world. And I remember the first person that asked me that question, not in those exact words, but I was like, what do you, that's crazy. I've traveled all the way from out of town to come spend the weekend and shop and sightsee. And that's the only thing that you can think to say to someone. And my feelings were hurt, but they were absolutely right. I was waddling in self-pity, and no one wanted to be in my presence. And that's when I began to take a really long look at the behaviors and how continuing to have this air of self-pity and entitlement, how it was driving a wedge between me and people in general. And I was like, wow, you have a lot more going on than just picking up the drugs, girl. You have got to get busy. If you're going to salvage your connection to people, If there's going to be true restoration, Mighty Stream, you have got to do something different. People are getting to the point where they can't stand to be around you. Is there anybody out there that can relate to that? People, you don't know exactly what, or maybe they have told you. Maybe they've told you, you are unbearable. It's hard to be around you. Right? You say you love me, but it is very difficult to sense that love, because all I sense coming out of you is discontent, self-pity, loathing of everyone, including yourself, antagonism, right? Pessimistic, unfriendly, hateful, conniving, cheating, and lying. Is there anybody else that can relate to that, where people are just tired of you? They hate to see you coming. Is there anyone that can relate to that? And well, if you can, it's time to dig deeper into step work, right? And that's where this all is headed, is be grateful for the hope that NA has given us, and to cultivate recovery rather than cultivating self-pity, because that self-pity leads us to a dead end, whereas recovery leads us to lost dreams awakening and new possibilities arising. Who wouldn't want that? My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. Have a beautiful day on purpose.